Hey man, what up? You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast with your hosts, Kevin, Danny, Eli, and Lee, man. These are some good old boys from New Orleans, and you should just kick back, open your ear holes, and listen, man. Have fun. JMU saying, stooch to the dooch.
Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast.
They are truly magical and whatnot.
Asante Sana, everyone. You are listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana, in the United States of America. We are artistic buffs talking about Disney stuff. And this is a show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us today. We are bringing back a segment we hadn't done in a little bit. It is called Quest for the Best. And for this Quest for the Best, we are looking for the best land in the Magic Kingdom. And look, this isn't your typical polished, practiced, pixie dust and Disney podcast. We are not in the parks every day trying to tell you the best way to drink around the world. Or are we? Ooh. Sorry, I threw for your loop there.
You did. I was already launching into my spiel.
I know, because I thought about it. I'm like, drink around the world. Wait a minute, we like to drink. Maybe we are.
We should.
Good.
That's going to be our next episode, folks. The best way to drink around the world.
Yes.
So we're here to drink, talk Disney, while we quest to be the best podcast talking Disney you ever heard.
That's right, because we do the talk and we walk the walk and we put this podcast game on our backs. And we're going to do that every day, all day, and all our episodes say that.
Shablam.
Boom.
Shazam.
My name is Kevin.
And I'm Shazam.
And I'll be made my man Eli.
And Lee here. Just keep in mind, if you want to check out all these lands, then I'm your man.
Nice.
And it's not even Stan.
Stan Lee.
Stan. Very good. So guys, look, enough of our jibber jabber. Let's go find the quest for the best. Here we are in the hub, and this is our main topic segment of the show. And what we are doing is, once again, finding the quest. Or no, I'm sorry, not finding. We're going on a quest for the best.
All of us?
All of us. All four of us are going on this quest.
I love a good quest.
But guys, we are looking for the best Magic Kingdom land in the Walt Disney World Resort.
That's right, Barley.
How about that? This is big. This is big. We've done hotels. I think we've done restaurants. Did we do that? Resorts? We did Best of the Quest, monorail resorts,
Best
and all
of
that
the
kind of
Quest?
stuff. Yeah. Best of the mountains. I think we did,
Mountains.
or something. Yeah, mountain ranges. But now we're doing the lands of the Magic Kingdom, guys. This is big.
Huge.
And just to kind of let you know how this works, we established a set of categories that we're going to rank each of the lands on. And the lands we're talking about, of course, Main Street USA, Liberty Square, Adventureland, Frontierland, Fantasyland, and Tomorrowland, in case you did not know. And the four areas that we will be ranking them on.
It's like categories.
Categories, yes. These are the categories that we're going to be doing our rankings. And I'll explain how the rankings work in a little bit. But we're going to be ranking them based on attractions and entertainment, dining options, shops, and the last one, theme area music. And the way this works, much like our other Quest for the Best shows, is kind of like golf. So we're going to rank each one of these lands within each of those categories. And, this is going to be 1 through 6. And kind of like golf, we're going to total up everything, and the land with the smallest number is the winner. And of course, the opposite end, the land with the biggest number, of course, is in 6th place.
So size doesn't matter.
Size, smaller is better in this case.
That's what your wife says.
Yes.
Yes. That's worked 3 times. At least.
Very effectively.
All 3 were girls.
Yes. So that's how we're going to do it. We're going to rank each land 1 through 6, each of that. Lee is once again going to be our tally person. He's got a spreadsheet, right, Lee? That's how you can do it?
Yep, got all my little numbers ready.
That's what he does best.
That's what he does best.
Because if the numbers don't add up, somebody get fired.
Yes.
That's right.
Our rankings, if you want to play along at home, our rankings are 1 through 6. So that's what you're going to do each land under each category. Mm-hmm. So are you guys ready to find the quest for the best?
I'm ready to start the Manicore's Tavern because that's where every good quest starts.
Yes. Very good. And this is the Magic Kingdom lands. Which one is the best land in the Magic Kingdom? Especially apropos because we're in the 50th anniversary of this wonderful park.
Big time, big things happening.
Yes, October 1st, 2021 is when it turned 50. And so, yeah, why not? Let's talk about the first park that opened in the Walt Disney Resort. And the first category we're going to rank these lands in is attraction/entertainment. So we took entertainment and put it in with attractions. You're getting entertained either way, whether it's attraction or it's people dancing and hello, my baby, hello, honey, hey, that kind of stuff. So, who would like to go first? Dun, dun, dun.
Well, I think Lee should go first. This is Lee's idea.
Oh, it is Lee's idea for this quest for this. Lee, you should have the honors, sir.
I'll roll with that. Technically, this is Danny's creation, the quest for the best. You're the one that came up with this, but I thought it would be a good time to do it, as Kevin said, since we're rolling in on the 50th. Let's talk about this park that kind of got us all into Disney.
A homage, if you will.
Yeah. So you say we're going to go with attractions first?
Attraction/entertainment, yes, sir.
All right. So as far as attractions go, Main Street USA is number 6. We can get into that, but basically there are no attractions on Main Street, so they just kind of default to number 6 for me. We can get into more details on what is considered attraction, but just to make sure everyone understands, we did go by the official Walt Disney World website. So if they said that this is an attraction, then it is. If they said this is entertainment, then that's where it went. There may be some discussion on that later as to whether we think something is actually a shop or an attraction, but this is what Walt Disney World lists on their website.
Yes.
For the purposes of this exercise, we did combine attractions and entertainment.
And to help bolster Lee's point there, also attractions that were temporarily unavailable, they were somewhat included.
They're considered.
That's a better term, what Lee just said, considered. They were considered.
As part of the equation.
As part of the equation. In other words, we didn't sit there and say, oh, you know what, the Enchanted Tales
Boutique.
Okay, there you go. The Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique is not available, so therefore it has to be counted as... We all know that it's eventually going to be back. So to make it a little bit more timeless, we're going to treat it as though it's still a part of the equation.
Yes, exactly. All right. So again, Main Street USA is the 6th best for attractions for me. Liberty Square, number 5. Tomorrowland, 4. Adventureland, 3. Frontierland, 2. Fantasyland, 1. Let's get Kevin's rankings and then everyone else's, and then we can maybe chop it up, have a little discussion.
Okay, so this is one that I actually switched just before we started because I looked at him like, what the hell am I doing? And so I rethought about it again, and this is probably the 4th time I've changed this ranking on this particular category, but here we go. And I'm going to start out crazy. My 6th one is going to be Tomorrowland, as a matter of fact. Tomorrowland is my number 6. And I actually have Main Street as my number 5. I have Main Street beating out Tomorrowland because since we looped in entertainment there too, I've always had a special place in my heart for Main Street USA entertainment. Whether it's the trolley show or the train station show, the railroad, they have a station at Frontierland, but it's listed both in Frontierland and Main Street USA. But Main Street USA, that station is the one you want to be at, in my opinion. And they have the flag ceremony, you have all kinds of stuff. So I just have a special place in my heart. Tomorrowland for me, the attractions are great, but you got, Space Mountains, it's pretty cool, but it doesn't evoke
rickety roller coaster in the dark.
Yeah, it doesn't evoke the same feeling as when I walk into Main Street, and I think part of the entertainment is like when you make that corner, you go through the quote unquote curtains, and you make that corner around the flagpole, and then you see the castle at the end. I know the castle is part of Fantasyland, but I consider that as part of Main Street USA's entertainment.
Fair enough.
So that's why I have it edged off of Tomorrowland. So after that, my number 4 is Adventureland. And then I have Fantasyland as my number 3. I have Liberty Square as my number 2. And I have Frontierland as my number 1.
All right.
That is a really interesting ranking.
Yeah. Like that's way opposite of what I did. So that's interesting to me.
It's opposite, but like I kind of feel like I meld a little bit between you and Lee. I lean closer to Lee, but I see a lot of Kevin's points.
Yeah, it was interesting because it's like where to put Liberty Square. Yeah, it has maybe the one main attraction as in Haunted Mansion, maybe the riverboat, stuff like that. But I really enjoy being in that area. You know, if you count the Muppets in that whole equation, maybe a short-lived, that's still a pretty cool thing. I hope something like that comes back.
Or I hope that something better comes along.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
I know it's not listed as an attraction, but the rocking chairs in Liberty Square are really... I love it.
Nice.
Nice. I could watch a parade there any day and just chill out on the rocking chair.
You got the person hanging in the, what you call it? Right?
Oh, and in the stirrups.
That's entertainment.
Well,
where do I get a fast pass for that?
I'll buy that for $1.
Right.
Yeah, what's it? Yeah, the stockades, right?
Stockades, yeah.
That's always funny.
Well, no, to me that all falls into theming, and we'll get into that.
Oh,
when we get
my
into
apologies.
That.
My
Yeah,
apologies.
but yeah.
Yeah, and it's people out there are probably going like Fantasyland. Why would you put Fantasyland in Louisville? It's like, yeah, it's Fantasyland. I know by sheer number they should have it, but it's like I don't feel
Quantity doesn't always equal quality.
Exactly.
I mean, the other reverse that.
Yeah.
All right, what about you, Danny?
Let me let Eli go first because I'm used to talking my way through this.
Yeah, you anchor it.
Yeah, because
I agree.
y'all are giving numbers, and I like to talk my way through it as I go.
No,
right, cool.
this is a very tricky assignment. I think as far as this one was kind of tough for me because like there's a lot to choose from, and there's hearts and favorites, and it's like again. For me, it was like, do you choose what the length of a piece of this land offers you, or do you choose where your heart goes when it's like, hey, you could run free, what would you do? So, yeah, I'm kind of with Lee as far as for number 6, choosing Main Street. I have nothing against Main Street. I just kind of go there and make sure I don't have a horse run over me.
Well, what's funny enough is that horses are listed as attractions on the Walt W World website. That is considered Walt Disney World
World website. Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
Maybe I've been drinking the dope whip. Walt Disney World website. That's the only attraction listed on the Main Street is horses.
I mean, they're beautiful. And I think I've only ridden that carriage once, and I know y'all had Kevin had a description of what happens when you initially go there and you see like people show up. I've only experienced that once, but it's nothing to do with the attraction that Main Street offers. I just don't get up that early.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I went with Liberty Square for my 5th one. Not too bad out there, but like again, I love Haunted Mansion. It's a classic. Hall of Presidents I check out because I'm patriotic, but at the same time I like a good nap, so that don't do much for me there. Tomorrowland, I do like that, but I think if I was a younger me, this would probably be higher ranked. But an older me, I can't really sit in most of those seats anymore. So
Thank you.
That's why that goes there. 3 goes to Adventureland. Of course, you have Jungle Cruise. I love pirates all the time. It'll be, Jasmine got my heart, so that had to be higher ranked. Now, Fantasyland and Frontierland were tough for me. I kind of went back and forth. But to be honest, I went with Fantasyland second because really the only thing that really gravitates me when I go there is Feel Her Magic. I never, like, if I pass that, I'm going to go to it. I love Duck Butt. And no doubt.
Oh, it's a brilliant show. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Duck butt.
But Frontierland, like, I'm sorry, like that's my joint.
That's your joint?
That's my joint. I have stories of just being on Big Thunder Mountain, and
like those
I've
double
enjoyed.
mountains, don't you?
I love
Those
going
double mountains.
fast in a good mountain and whatnot. And look, the thing that really does it for me, I don't know if you count this as an attraction. I did was the shooting arcade.
Absolutely.
Oh, it is. Yeah, that's
absolutely.
an attraction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Temporarily unavailable for anybody that.
Well,
wants
we
it.
consider it.
Yeah, we consider it.
Okay. So now that for me, I've done that in both Disney World and Disneyland. And I'm a fair connoisseur,
And a good shot.
and I'm a very good shot. Better at Disneyland than Disney World. And I think that's what put Frontierland over the top for me because I will not walk past that shooting arcade and just be like, no,
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you,
I
dude.
wanted Huckleberry. So, yeah, that's my rank right there.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Got it.
Yeah.
What up, Lunger?
What up, lover?
Mr. Lava.
My dear, you are the devil.
All right, Danny's bringing it home.
Wow.
Adrian, baby!
So I am. I'm going to bury the lead here for a minute and just look at these 6 here and say that this is, to use an analogy that probably most Disney fans and listeners won't understand. I'm going to use a fantasy football analogy here. This is very much a tiered based ranking.
Ooh.
As far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
Like my bottom 2, my mid 2, and my top 2, either one could go either way, just depending upon the day of the week and my mood. But let's start with the bottom 2. So I'm going to concur and say that Main Street USA's got to be last. And the reason of it is because the tiebreaker really comes down to the parade cavalcades kind of things that they do. I mean, you can experience that in Main Street, but you can also experience that in Liberty Square. You can experience, just for the bottom 2, you can experience Main Street USA Parade there. You can see the fireworks there, but you can also see the fireworks at several different locations. There's a reason why they don't list fireworks as being part of the entertainment attractions in Main Street. And Lee made it a point of pointing that out, right, Lee?
Yes. I mean, there was a point of contention is that do the fireworks belong to Fantasyland because of the castle, or do they belong to Main Street because of the viewing? And, that's a hard decision to make. And Disney wasn't any helpful on that because they don't even list it as in any particular land. They just say Walt Disney World Park, or they don't specify. So that was a tough one. And for me, I felt like it really is part of Main Street because you need to really be on Main Street to experience it in full, especially now with the projections. But again, that's just my opinion. Anyone that said, "Oh no, I love watching the fireworks from the bridge over here or whatever," is just as valid. But for me, it belongs in Main Street because it is the projections more than anything else.
And I would agree wholeheartedly, but again, this is where I would break apart from that, is that you can experience the parade, the cavalcades in Liberty Square, which would be my number 5 one. So Liberty Square would be 5, Main Street would be 6, and that's where my tiered system falls in. And so the reason I rank Liberty Square over Main Street USA is you can experience that. Not only that, you can see the fireworks in both places. Now, granted, as Lee said, you experience them better in Main Street, but you can still experience them in Liberty Square. So it's kind of Haunted Mansion versus fireworks.
Yeah.
Is what I'm down to. And again, for the fireworks I can experience in Liberty Square, I'll take the Haunted Mansion every single day and twice over. Or Hall of Presidents versus the Dapper Dans. I love the Dapper Dans, but Hall of Presidents it's just as impressive as a show to me. The castle shows at a riverboat. Well, I kind of skip both. But, I mean, I like both for the same principle. But to me, the riverboat adds a little bit more of a richness. And so it really comes down to the fact that I can skip everything on Main Street. I can't skip the Haunted Mansion. So that's why Haunted Mansion is up at 5th. So that's 5 and 6 there. So let's go to 3 and 4. And again, we're talking Adventureland and Tomorrowland here. And Tomorrowland took the 4 spot while Adventureland took the 3 spot. Very similar lands in that they both have spinners. They both have classic attractions that most people skip.
They spinning, Danny.
They're spinning. Now, obviously, we can sit here and we can,
Him and Haw.
pick it apart, and one is better than the other, clearly. But yeah, they both have spinners. They both have classic attractions that most people skip. The Speedway and Treehouse are both 2 attractions that look exciting, but turn out to be duds. I'd rather do the pirate scavenger hunt over the laugh floor any day of the week. I can tell you that.
You're a very interactive person.
But mostly I am skipping both. And so it's really, as I said before when Kevin brought it up, it's either the Space Mountain rickety roller coaster in the dark, or the richest, most detailed ride in Disney history in Pirates of the Caribbean. And so Pirates is going to win over that. It's either the leisurely people mover, which I enjoy, or the funny and leisurely Jungle Cruise, which I enjoy more. Buzz Lightyear kind of brings it a little bit closer, but not close enough to where Adventureland is going to lose to Tomorrowland. So yeah, Pirates and Jungle Cruise to me beat out Space Mountain, People Mover, and Buzz. That's where I stand. And so then we come down to the last 2. And again, this is where I'm going to differ from Lee and agree with you. And you and I are going to go 6 for 6. and Lee and I are going to go kind of 4 for 4 and 2 for 2. But I mean, this is kind of where I thought, Kevin had great points as well. I think Frontierland, I mean, this just comes down to quality over quantity. It really does. Splash Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain are just heads and shoulders, must-see, must-dos above everything else. And not only are they that, you can do them multiple times. So many attractions in Fantasyland are just one and done. I got my dose of Small World. It's cute, it's classic, but you're ready to be over with. You're ready for it to be over before it's ever over with. The rest isn't anything really special. Tea Party, Winnie the Pooh. I mean, it's cute, but it's a checklist. I did it. Big Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain, you want to do it, and you want to do it more than once, and I think that's what makes it stand out. And the music and the animatronics, the Journey of the Little Mermaid, I think that they did racing, but I mean, then you have to factor in the music and the animatronics from Country Bears, don't you? Throw in the Frontierland shooting arcade, and it's just that Frontierland makes for the better, to me, attractions. Yeah, we'll see what happens when they throw in Tiana, and we'll see what that does to Splash Mountain.
Absolutely.
But I mean, all in all, I put Frontierland number 1. So yeah, Eli and I were lockstep on this one. Lee and I, we were close. I mean, we had the bottom 4 and then the top 2 just slightly reversed.
Yeah, it's the two. Those are the two for everyone. It's like, is it Fantasyland or is it Frontierland? Dumbo is like one of my favorites. I know it's just a spinner, but it's, I did the history of Dumbo. It's one of my favorite movies. So that gives a little edge to me. I like Mad Tea Party. I don't have anything against them. A lot of people don't, but I think it's great. PhilharMagic, Peter Pan, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. We didn't even talk about that. That could go neck to neck with Big Thunder Mountain. So I just felt like, yes, it was quantity, but there was so much good classic attractions in Fantasyland that's why I gave it the edge.
No, absolutely, 100%. But that's what it came down to for me. If I've done Dumbo once, I'm not trying to get in a second showing a Dumbo. As great as the queue is, as wonderful as they dress the attraction up for just being a simple spinner, they really dress that attraction up. But I'm trying to get a second fast pass for. There's no more fast pass, but I'm trying to get I'm trying to get a second bite at the apple at Big Thunder Mountain. I'm trying to get a second bite at the apple at Splash Mountain.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. It's great points that you make. If there's things I'm going to ride again, I can tell you right off the bat, it's going to be one of the mountains or Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean.
There you go.
And that's pretty much it. And even within one of the mountains, I even have that prioritized where it's like, Space Mountain's my least favorite one, so that's going to be my last, but I'm going to definitely try to gun for Big Thunder and or Splash Mountain, depending what it is. And then the Fantasyland rides is if I'm walking through that land to get to one of those things, if there's no queue, it's like nobody's in line, it's like, oh, we can hop on this real quick, I'll do it. But if there's even like maybe like a handful of people in there, I was like, I'll just walk right by it. It's no big deal.
Very well said. Very well said.
I just remember that what gave Frontierland the nod for me too was like on Big Thunder Mountain. I never forgot it. I went and rode it. And I had my glasses on. And when the ride was over, I didn't have my glasses.
I remember that.
And somebody behind me happened to say, "Sir, did you lose your glasses?"
Was I on that trip?
No.
I just remember the story. Okay, that's what it is. Yeah.
What he doesn't say is he did lose his hat. He did have a hat on, too. The hat was gone. Somebody fortunately caught his glasses.
Yes. And so ever since then, like other rides are like, oh, it doesn't matter. I can put it on and no problem. Like I respect that ride greatly. So
I do too.
Yeah, that's always stuck out to me.
Both are masterpieces. I mean, they're just master. Big Thunder Mountain and I mean,
Splash,
look.
Yeah.
I mean, to give Seven Dwarfs Mine Train its due, it really is. It's a worthy addition, but it's just too damn short.
No, and I mentioned this before. It's an intermediate coaster to lead you to one of the other mountains.
That's exactly it.
That's how I describe it.
And it's an entertaining queue as well.
It's a better done Barnstormer. Way better done. I mean, I need to be clear that way better done Barnstormer, but it's way too short for as good as it should be.
So, Lee, where are we at after this first round?
Yeah, with just the first category right now, the lead is Frontierland. Second best is Fantasyland. Adventureland, Liberty Square, Tomorrowland, and Main Street USA right now is last.
Woo! Show's over. That's it. That's right there.
I'm good with those rankings. I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah,
hey,
I like
thank
that
y'all
too.
for showing up. Everybody, good night. All
All
right. Well, we
See ya. All right.
Do you want to do dining next?
Yeah, let's do dining next, man.
To the dining.
All right.
This is a hard one. This
was
really was
tough.
hard because, I mean, God dang, the menus change so often.
Yeah,
The
that's
places where you get your favorites have changed so much. This was really the hardest one to do. And to be quite honest, I mean, with everything with COVID and the storms and what, I mean, we haven't been in so long. I mean, somebody could just write in like, hey guys, y'all missed this. This is there now. And it's well possible.
Yeah. All right, so I went number 6, Frontierland. 5, Tomorrowland, Adventureland, Fantasyland, Liberty Square, Main Street, USA. Main Street, I mean, Casey's Corner. Boom. What more? It's like just, that to me is like, I don't know why, but that just is the epitome of Disney to me is Casey's Corner. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but it just seems so nostalgic. Crystal Palace, Main Street Bakery. How many times have I eaten at Plaza Ice Cream Parlor? Just sat on those chairs, kicked back, people watched, what have you. Should be points off for Tony's Town Square, but I just felt like there was enough good that it was my best. I don't want to go through everything, but I felt like for sure the worst being Frontierland. I mean, there's just Golden Oak Outpost, Pecos Bills, Westward Ho. Pecos Bills, okay, maybe a little bit, but nothing spectacular. So that's my top and bottom.
T to B.
Top and bottom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is tough.
I know. You want to go next, Kevin?
Yeah, I'll go next. I guess I'll start with my number 6. I tried to think of this category as places that I eat more often than not. And I feel that Tomorrowland is the land that I eat the least in. You have the lunching pad. You have that, what's that big dining area that they have with the dude singing?
Oh, Cosmic Rays.
Cosmic Rays, yeah. You got Cosmic Rays. It has like pretty much everything. Big cafeteria, whatever you want. But then again, that's all I can think of, and I barely eat at those places. So that's my number 6 in that particular case. Now, the next two, the 4 and 5, almost are kind of like a flip-flop for me. And those two are Liberty Square and Fantasyland. I could go either way with one of these. They have places, both have places where I would eat. Like Liberty Square has the chicken and waffle place. Fantasyland has a bunch of different things. Although, Gaston's no longer has the pork shank. So I give it a little knockoff of that.
Okay.
So no longer there. But they do have the macaroni, the cheese stuff that's kind of good. The beef stew macaroni. But it's not anything
unique.
to write home. Yeah, it's not anything unique. So I actually put Fantasyland as my number 5. And I gave Liberty Square my number 4. And so these top 3 were, I tried to think, again, just more or less where I'll end up eating. My number 3 is Frontierland. Pecos Bills I enjoyed. Well, I guess, I don't know if I'm hanging on the memory of Pecos Bill and how it used to be versus what it is now. We got the turkey leg. So I probably am. And it's probably tough. So maybe I should have had this ranked lower, but I'm probably hanging on the nostalgia.
You're not the only one.
But, you got your turkey legs, you got your corn on the cob. Well, no, the corn on the cob's not even there. It's at Liberty Square.
Turkey legs, different recipe.
Yeah, it is a different recipe.
And I'll be honest with you, I couldn't find too many turkey leg locations in Frontierland.
No, it was tough. And I think the last time we were there, it was tough.
Shifted, and I'm going to get into that when I get into my thing. I figured Eli would follow the track of the turkey leg and figure out where it was. So I'll let Eli run with that. But there was a certain food item that I had to find, and it wasn't where it was supposed to be, and that was Frontierland. But I'll let you go.
But and now that I think about it, it's like when I'm talking to myself, I'm thinking of places I like to eat. It's like I should have switched like Frontierland and Liberty Square in that respect.
Switch them then.
And in fact, that's what I'm going to do. Lee, let's do this.
All right, cool. I got you.
Kevin's going rogue.
Yeah, I'm going Frontierland number 4 and Liberty Square number 3. Because now I think about it, it's like I like Columbia House. I'll eat there. I like Liberty Square Tavern. Liberty Square. I even mentioned they had the chicken and waffle place. It's right by the bridge. So that's what I'm gonna do. Actually, let me update this so I remember what I ranked. But that's what I'm doing.
There's a lot happening, baby.
There's a lot happening.
You're making conversions, baby. You changing things.
Yeah. When I talk about it, I'm like, I mentioned the chicken and waffle place at Liberty Square, and I thought of it in my head Liberty Square Tavern. Brain fart here. But anyway, so my top 2, we have number 1 and number 2. It's going to be the two lands, Adventureland, Main Street, USA. And I think I went with Adventureland number 2, Main Street, USA number 1. Lee brought up Casey's Corner. I like the Starbucks. I like getting the coffee. I like the Plaza Inn. I really enjoy that restaurant. That's a fun little restaurant. You got the little sweets place. That's right, the ice cream place right across from Casey's Corner. That little thing. I mean, you got the little Italian restaurant at the beginning of Main Street. Yeah, that's the only maybe deficit that it does. But I don't think it was enough to put Adventureland ahead of it. only because Adventureland, it has the terrace where you can get the Dole Whips, and it also has the Skipper Canteen, which I really enjoy too. But I think I probably could have gone either way with these and flip-flopped them either way, but I just gave the edge to Main Street USA.
I will say the Tomorrowland, the only reason it wasn't 6th and got 5th was for the dessert parties. I threw that in there, and for Tomorrowland, Terrace, all that. I mean, I felt like that's just a unique offering, and honestly, I love the dessert parties for Magic Kingdom. I love being able to just have a place to chill, relax, not have to fight the masses down on Main Street for a spot for the fireworks. So it still only brought it to 5, but that's why it was 5 instead of 6.
Yeah, I mean, Tomorrowland, if they had the noodle thing, it might have moved it up, but I don't know if it would have been enough.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing to me. Like, firework watching has never been a priority. But I can understand if it's a priority to you, then that would change things. All righty, what you got?
Good Lord, sweet Lord. That's all I can say on this. This is something where most of these places here, they're almost like places where you have to randomly go to them. Whenever I've gone on a trip, everything is usually, like you say, booked. You're like, you're going to eat here for dinner, there for dinner. So these are almost like places where it's like, okay, I just happen to be in the area, and then, like, I want a snack. Number 6 is Frontierland. Why? Because the turkey leg, they gypped me. I don't know what other way to put it than that. You're more than welcome to write
Turkey leg X.
And be like, hey, I have an argument with that.
Are you sure that there's a place to find a turkey leg in Frontierland these days? That's my question to you, because the more I looked into it, the turkey leg was in Frontierland. It was in Liberty Square. It was everywhere. But
it expanded. Okay, no, that's fair.
I'm getting beyond.
It had expanded, but originally it was in Frontierland, like how you said, nostalgically, right? Right? He's like, oh boy, yeah, right? He's like, oh boy, original. Let's put it like this: original recipe, OG turkey leg.
Well, by that metric, Frontierland wins, and then the other places where it wasn't would lose.
No. What I'm saying
places with a new recipe would lose.
Right. So I mean, but we're talking Disneyland, who has the original recipe. Bam. But in this case,
we'll be there.
That's why I'm looking
knock on wood, and if
just praying, crossing fingers and toes.
Shiva Komania.
That is the second thing I want after Rise of the Resistance. It's the original recipe turkey leg. But yes,
an original corn dog.
The new recipe that they had, you really couldn't find it in Frontierland. I want it, but I think. Now, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the last time I remember having the turkey leg, which was a new recipe, which I was like, no, you did me wrong, was it was a night parade. And I remember I couldn't find anything, but
we were in Liberty Square.
That's it.
We were in Liberty Square. It was the night of the Halloween party.
That's exact. Thank you. Yes. And then you and your wife were like, hey, look, if you want a shot at this, it's over here. And then I tasted like, no, y'all did me wrong.
Because you went for the turkey leg and I was going for the Haunted Mansion specialty desserts for the Halloween party. That's how I remember that.
Excellent memory.
Yeah,
and
right.
So Frontierland, if it was since it's using the new thing, there's really no turkey leg there, I don't really go out and do stuff. Main Street is number 6. Not because Main Street has...
Whoa. I thought, wait, Frontierland was 6.
Number 5. Sorry. No, never mind. Never mind. Let me back up. Frontierland's number 6. Tomorrowland's number 5.
Okay.
Food straightforward. I've only dipped and dived in there a couple of times. Not like, I gotta.
Did you dip, dive, and then dodge?
Yes.
Did you dodge again?
I dodged to go.
That's the 5 rules of dodge.
Exactly.
Ball.
I dodged to go to another area.
Dip, dive,
to
duck,
eat.
dodge.
I didn't want to pay. There you go. Adventureland for me was number 4. Okay. Liberty Square, I say is 3 because there's still some items there that I'm like the seafood joint. Everything like that. It's like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, Columbia Harbor House.
Columbia Harbor House?
Yes. And but Main Street is number 2 for me, mainly because that's pretty much all that street is. But I don't really have a massive sweet tooth, but every now and again, usually towards the end of the trip, when we're coming back out, I'll stop and get something.
Get the candy apple.
Yeah, get a little candy, or or like you said, if I'm traveling with y'all, or like I know Danny, when Danny comes out, he goes, either him or his dad. If his dad's listening, usually they stop somewhere for a coffee and it's an ice cream thing. So I'm like, oh,
that's
what?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your dad stopped there with you too. But I'm like, oh yeah, ice cream is good. But essentially, and I know I've been to Casey's Corner too. I mean, like the hot dog and everything. But in other words, it's not something that would really grab me, but it's like, well, I'm here. Let me get started. But number one for me was Fantasyland. Why?
Yeah, why? Why exactly?
Mainly because here's the thing. Number one, I'm eating somewhere, but this is the most, to me, Disney-centric area. Like, I'm going there and it's like, all right, there's Cinderella's castle. Cool, you get to eat there. So it's an ambiance thing.
The most Disney-like eats?
Yeah, I mean, like, they're I mean, I know they're not like Club 33 and nothing like that, but it's like, oh, cool, you get to eat in a castle. Okay, cool, you get to eat in the beast lair and the beast comes out. And so, like, that has more of an experience feel. I mean, seriously, like, Beyond Guess is it is what it is, but it is kind of cool when you're like, you're nice and toasted one day and the freaking beast comes out, and it's like, you want me to take pictures with you and your children? I mean, like, that's just an experience you're not going to get.
I like the West Wing area. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If they all had to dine in there, that's where I want to dine.
So that's a cool area.
Can I just say something real quick? Because I feel like you and Lee should probably have a discussion on this, but because Lee's like, yeah, why? Really? I would like to know what Lee's anti-Fantasyland stance is.
That made sense what I said, though, or?
The truth is, yes, that you have Cinderella's Castle and you have Be Our Guest. So that should put them on top as far as like most popular, gotta eat at places. I just feel like, man, but once you've done Cinderella's Castle, do you really need to go back? Because the food is not that great. It's like, yes, you're there for the experience, but
okay. So here's what I would say. Let's that's a fair point, Lee. But let's bottle the discussion by saying, can we all agree that when we're talking about food in the Magic Kingdom, the bar is pretty freaking low?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so when you say that Cinderella's Royal Table is not all that it's made up to, I agree. I couldn't agree more. But I cannot say that the lower quality that I'm judging, I can't say there's anything that stands above and beyond.
I mean, Casey's Corner.
And so,
I'd probably go to Skipper Canteen food-wise.
Yes.
Absolutely.
100%.
Over, so
100%. 100%.
The only thing I'll just, the only other point I'll make is that with Fantasyland, like when I'm looking at what I would actually say, okay, you know what? I'm going to grab something. Friar's Nook, Pinocchio Village House. That's probably both the only place I would like just go to because I'm there. And even that's a maybe. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, they're okay. They're not great. Like Friar's Nook and Pinocchio Village House are like Tortuga and Pickles Bills to me. It's all the same level.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So it's just not enough good places over there. I'd rather walk over to Liberty Square and get the waffle sandwich. I'd rather walk over to Columbia Harbor House and eat there if I'm going to pick.
Sure. Not enough good places in general, I would say. If we're just going food quality wise. And I think that's really where the rubber meets the road when it comes to Fantasyland. So let me run through what I've got real quick. So my bottom one is Tomorrowland. Because I don't know how we'll make it to see a great big beautiful tomorrow if all we're eating is hot dogs and hamburgers.
And that's absolutely true.
Outside of the Coke Ices and the Cosmic Ray AA figure, I mean, there's really nothing all that special in Tomorrowland to eat. The pretzels move around, so I mean,
jalapeno cheese pretzel.
Last I heard, that is in Frontierland, I believe.
Yeah.
The last I heard, but I mean, but now it's the pepper jack pretzel. I mean, the pretzels change all the freaking time. Who can keep up? There's multiple levels.
Kirk can keep up.
Yeah,
Kirk
a
got
mess.
in the ass. And
Absolute mess.
right. So I'm going to give Tomorrowland 6. Frontierland. Look, I might not be the turkey leg fan, and so I did not keep up with where it is. I did look around for it. I did not find the Frontierland associated with Frontierland, but historically, I do associate with Frontierland, just as I used to associate the corn dog with Frontierland, which was my favorite Disney guilty pleasure that there was.
That was
But
beautiful.
here's the thing. When you look into the corn dog, it's not in Frontierland anymore. You can have what they call corn dog nuggets. But I'm not trying to eat a kid cuisine frozen dinner. I want the full length hand dipped corn dog. And that apparently, according to the latest menu, is not in Frontierland, which is a disappointment to me. as Kevin put it, I used to be a huge fan of Pecos Bill, especially the little Fixins bar before it became a Tex-Mex establishment. But I can't argue that it fits the theme. The Tex-Mexing fits the theming of what they're going for, even though it doesn't exactly fit my need. And the Diamond Horseshoe fits thematically, but it's just a waste. Just a waste of an opportunity. You're not doing anything on stage. It's nothing like the Golden Horseshoe over at Disneyland. So that's why it's coming in at 5th for me. So Tomorrowland, nothing. Frontierland, a pulse, but not really a whole lot. 4 is where we get to Adventureland. And so this is where really even having the best restaurant, and I'll fully admit that Skipper Canteen is the best restaurant in Magic Kingdom last I've eaten at. It still doesn't make it to the top 3 for me, though, because there's not a whole lot else there.
Just Dole Whips. That's it.
That's it. It's Skipper Canteen and Dole Whip, and I'm not necessarily a huge the Dole Whip beer, and I'll pimp it one more time, even though we're not even getting paid for it. This was better for me because it wasn't nearly as sweet, and I'm done with it after 3 sips as I am with the Dole Whip. Because the Dole Whip is nice. I'll have a couple sips, but after that, I'm done.
Yeah, very sweet.
Very sweet. Yes. So, and even last time we had a Skipper Canteen, I kind of found it a little bit lacking in a little bit of quality, but mostly in food choices. The food choices weren't as eccentric and unique and special and wonderful as they were before that. It just felt lacking. And so seeing that I can live without the Dole Whip and I can, the Skipper Cantina is great, but it's not heads and shoulders above everything else. It's not like I'm getting a good view of something.
Right.
There's Tomorrowland, not Tomorrowland, I'm sorry, the Sunshine Terrace. They used to have an iced coffee float that was delicious. I used to love that. I used to look forward to that way more than the stupid Dole Whip float, and they did away with that. So that's why Adventureland is going to make it to number 4 for me.
You're right about the claustrophobia, though, in Skipper Canteen.
Yes.
Very right about that.
So let's get it to number 3. Number 3, and this one was a surprise for me, is Liberty Square.
This is crazy.
It really is.
That's where I had it, yeah.
Because, let's start with the Columbia Harbor House. It's just probably the best themed Disney counter service restaurant location in the Magic Kingdom.
Old school.
To sit down, grab a bite to eat, bar none. It's not just your typical burgers and fries, which you can get at any other location in and around Disney property. It's something different. It's something special. Something on the lighter side, too, where you're not necessarily feeling like, oh my God, let me just sit here for 10 minutes before we get up. You can sit there, you can grab a nice bite to eat, feel full, and have the most thematically thing. And if you go sit upstairs and you get that nice view, it's even better. Oh. And there's never anybody up there. Never. Then you have the Liberty Square Market, and you kind of get that same vibe where you have this nice little place where you grab a kind of a healthier snack. Maybe you get a hummus, maybe you get a pickle. Maybe
if you're lucky, they're roasting corn, which I love.
Thank you. It's a really nice place to grab something to eat. Then you have the Liberty Tree Tavern, which to me is just quintessential Disney. That is the Disney of my youth, when there really wasn't much in the way of places to eat in and around Disney. And I remember you and I ate there one time, Kev, and it's not my cup of tea when it comes to food. I'm not that buffet style, meats and just,
that's why you skinny into this here, boy.
That's the truth. Huh?
Yeah, but I could always find something to eat over there. I had a good time. They have beer, they have wine, they have cider. It's just nicely done, but easily above and beyond is my most favorite place to grab a snack in the Magic Kingdom. And this isn't because I'm just a Halloween horror fan, was the Sleepy Hollow refreshment.
Yeah.
My God.
That's where they have the chicken and waffle place.
Not just a chicken waffle place, but apparently the only place you can get a full length hand dipped corn dog.
Yeah, you're right.
Anymore is there. You get the waffle sandwiches, you can get the funnel cake, sweets. It's a must stop on every trip for me.
Funnel cake, no joke.
So Liberty Square came in a lot higher than I thought. Best counter service, best snack shop, in between sit-down restaurant, if you will. So that gives us up to what? Second, Main Street.
Wow.
Main Street made it in second.
Yeah.
There's Casey's. There's coffee. There's the confection. I mean, it's the best place there's no other place to grab a cup of coffee in the freaking Magic
Or
Kingdom.
get a cavity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Or gain some pounds.
It's all the C's. Casey, coffee, confectionery. Ice cream. Yeah, all the C's.
Cavity. It's all together.
Cotton
All
candy,
C.
popcorn.
Hot C.
C is for cavity, and that's good enough for me.
There it is. Tell him.
It's not only like when I talked about Liberty Square, and this is why it makes it above Liberty Square, is because at Liberty Square, it's a must stop at least once on a trip. With Main Street, it's a must stop every time I walk into the Magic Kingdom. I'm either going to be at Casey's or the Main Street Bakery to grab coffee, or I'm going to be at the ice cream parlor. There's not a place that I'm not going to be there. I find the Plaza to be a really underrated sit-down table restaurant that most people don't even think about.
Love it.
I don't know why, and it's great views, great atmosphere, wonderful dining spot. Crystal Palace is just beautiful, and when they return character dining, again, the menu's not my cup of tea, but when they return character dining there, it's going to be even more beautiful.
The buffet.
Get the buffet. That brings us to Tony's, and I understand most people don't like it, and some get even violently ill when they get. Can I just say I've never had that experience eating at Tony's. Never once. I understand it's not exactly. I mean, Italian dining is not that hard to do. You really got to screw up Italian. I mean, it's really easy. The first dish we all learn to make when we're young is pasta. I mean, if you can't cook Italian, I mean, my God, Michael in the Godfather, he learned it in 2 seconds.
I'm from the hood. I learned to make pasta. That's true stuff.
I'm Asian. I learned to make pasta.
Is it?
We start with rice.
I went the next step up. Man.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty easy thing to learn. So I've never experienced it. A bad meal there, and I've seen that the reviews have gotten better as time has gone on. So I mean, hopefully they've turned a corner over there. I've never had a bad experience. I can't necessarily say I've craved it. Obviously there's better Italian, but I've never had a problem with it. And hopefully they are continuing to get better. But again, number one, I'm with Eli. It's got to be Fantasyland. That's why I was kind of curious to what Lee said. I mean, you get to dine in 2 castles.
Right.
Where else do you get that experience? And then one of them is actually the castle, the quintessential landmark of all of the Magic Kingdom, if not Disney World as a whole. You associate with that castle and you're eating out, and if you're looking out, granted, you're not looking forward down Main Street, you're looking backwards down.
Up Main Street.
Well, no, not up Main Street. You're looking backwards towards Fantasyland.
Yeah.
Oh,
right,
yeah. Never mind. Yeah.
But bar none, I mean, again, the food quality is not as good as it should be. But when you're at Magic Kingdom, the food quality is kind of judged in a bubble. You don't really take it all that seriously. It's more about the dining experience. And I look at those 2 places as being something special. And, look, again, I said it before about Skipper Canteen. When we first ate there, it was great. It was wonderful. First time I ate at Be Our Guest, it was great. It was wonderful. As time goes on, newer restaurants, the quality kind of slips
Pop up
off.
and surface.
Slip a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
But then you got the Friar's Nook, and they have brats and tater tots, and those are 2 of my favorite guilty pleasures.
Yeah, they fill you up.
Give me a tater tot or a French fry any day of the week. Give me a brat. I'm a big brat fan.
Yes.
I love that. Whenever we watch football and stuff like that, we'll bowl of brats and grill them. My wife's from Wisconsin. German influence. They like to do the bratwurst thing over there, so I'm good with that. Gaston's has the turkey leg. There's plenty of places for sweets. Storybook and Cheshire Cat Cafe. Even Gaston's has a little. So I mean, it encompasses all your flavors, encompasses all your tastes.
Well, it's like, yes, and I'm with you on that one. I think minus the bottom 2, but yeah, it's kind of like it would almost be like if you were a tourist and you were like, I want to see New Orleans. Well, you would come downtown and try to eat at Jackson Brewery,
sure,
because that's what we're known for. You wouldn't go all the way out to Chalmette and try, Rocky and Carlos. Well,
I don't know. I would tell most people to try Rocky and Carlos before the Jackson Brewery.
Right? Yes, because we're local. We're local, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh no, but the pinnacle of the thing is this is what I see when I affiliate with New Orleans, and that's the thing.
Emeralds.
Sure, Emeralds and
Brennan stuff.
Yeah, the Brennans. But I mean,
but you're there at Jackson Brewery. You're there. You're on the river.
But you keep saying Jackson Brewery. There's like really nothing there.
Yeah,
Jackson Brewery
tourist food court.
Well,
yeah,
okay, fair enough. but you know what I'm saying? Like
Cap-
No,
Demond,
Antoine's.
yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Antoine's.
Yeah.
What's the name of the other one?
Ralph's. No, not Ralph's.
Well, Ralph's is it's a
That's
part of
the
it,
part.
but there's
the big fancy-
it starts with a G. I can't remember.
Galatoire's.
Galatoire's. Thank
yes.
you. That's what you're talking about when you go into the quarter.
right. They're like, that's what we're going for.
Emeralds,
That's what we want to see.
Galatoire's,
That's
Monaco.
something.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the kind of stuff that those people should they gravitate toward, and they should. There's a good restaurants, very, very, very good restaurant.
But again, you're going into a fantasy world, and it's known for being the castle. How can you not say, "Oh yeah, I got to eat in the castle"?
That's where I agree with you.
Yeah,
If I'm looking at
That's
the
it.
food and I'm saying the food is average to above average at best, then I'm going to judge the theming a little bit more. And then you get not only do you get the ambiance of eating in the castle, but again, under regular circumstances, princesses are coming around the table.
And that's always good.
Yeah.
That's always good. And then, like I mean, and we all have daughters, and of course,
That's why it's good, because we all have daughters.
yes, and exactly.
Nice save.
You're welcome. You're missing out. You're missing out. The
Yeah,
storytelling.
totally missing
Yes,
out.
and and so you take your kid to something like this, and boom, their mind is blown. I mean, so
sure.
it's an experience. But like, I'm surprised that like we were almost like pretty much neck for neck, except for the Frontierland thing. I thought you would just made that 6 because, like you said, there wasn't much there.
There wasn't much there, but the food options fit the theming more than Tomorrowland. I mean, again, like, what is there to eat in Tomorrowland that even we just did a thing on Space 220 where we're like, we're in the future and we're just eating burgers and fries. Really?
Yeah. Well, maybe that is our future as Americans, to just be perpetually stuck eating burgers and fries.
Yeah.
I will say this: I am going to move. I'm going to move Fantasyland to 2 for me, and Liberty Square to 3. Just based off this conversation, I think there's some good points to be made as far as, what quality food can you get anyway? If all the quality is at the same level, the castle, Be Our Guest, all that stuff, that brings it up a little bit. You mean
Fantasyland, not Frontierland, right?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Fantasyland 2, Liberty Square goes to 3. I had Liberty Square 2. But hey, that's just a good point too. Like, that's the problem I have with Space 220, and we don't need to talk more about it. But that is if this is where it's at now, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to nothing ever gets better in Disney. Like, it always starts here and goes down a little bit. This is already here. Wow. So it's going to be like off the screen. And then the last thing I'll say is, like, the hardest part about this is that I don't eat in the Magic Kingdom. I eat at Ohana's. I eat at Narcoossee's. I eat at, anywhere but the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
So that's really the problem, man. Is like, the Magic Kingdom to me is counter service. Just counter service till we get to dinner.
I think the irony here is this was your idea.
No,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, like, gun to head, you say you've got one spot, you can eat at the Magic. I'm with Lee. I would eat at Ohana's. I would eat at Narcoossee's. I would eat at Cowboy. But if gun to head, I would stop at Casey's. I would stop at Casey's, or I would stop at, I would stop at Casey's or stop at Sleepy Hollow to get a corn dog or to get a hot dog. One of those two. It would be one guilty pleasure and done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, look, since you're switching things around, Lee, I want to switch one thing around.
What you got, Kev?
I'm put Frontierland number 5 for me, and then Fantasyland number 4.
Wow.
I'll move that. I'm gonna switch those two basically.
A little switchy switch.
Yeah, I did a switch.
All right, cool. All right, so that puts us now at Fantasyland is still number 1. Then you've got Adventureland and Frontierland tied. Main Street USA, Liberty Square tied. Tomorrowland bottom.
How did Adventureland jump up so much? I'm just curious.
Adventureland was my number 4 for dining. It was number 2 for Kevin. It was number 4 for Danny, and it was number 4 for Eli. So it's just kind of, it's in the middle now. Where, it's not on the bottom, it's not on the top, but that middle part kind of pushed. Since everyone else got higher and lower, it kind of pushed it up.
But it's 2.
It's number 2. It's tied for 2. Adventureland and Frontierland are tied for second.
That is interesting.
Yeah,
That is
that's
interesting.
interesting.
Okay, wow.
So now we're going to move on to the next category, which is shops. And we're going to rank these lands based on the shopping experience that you have in each of the lands. All right, Lee?
All right, so this was probably my most difficult category because I'll be honest, I don't do a lot of shopping. When I go to Disney, I need a pair of boxer shorts, I need some magnets, I need some shot glasses, and some T-shirts, and I'm pretty good.
Can I ask you a question? If any of these places sold shoes, would they immediately vault up to number 1?
No, because I can't get my discount. I need my 40% off discount at Journeys. I can't pay
need
full price for
40%.
shoes.
Wow.
You love shoes, though.
Not full price.
T-shirt.
I don't. I do not.
T-shirt to match with your shoes.
So this is where I went, and I don't even know. Again, Fantasyland 6, Frontierland 5, Adventureland, Tomorrowland, Main Street USA, Liberty Square was number 1 for me. And the reason I gave Liberty Square number 1 is because they just had the most unique options for shopping. Because you have the Parasol Cart, you got the Portrait Gallery, Memento Mori, and you got a Christmas shop. That's all stuff that there's nowhere else to find that stuff. So that's why I gave it number 1. After that, honestly, for me personally, it's just a crapshoot. Main Street got number 2 just because if you can't find it on Main Street, you can't find it anywhere. Every single shop in the world is on Main Street. So it probably should be number 1. But again, I gave the edge to Liberty Square with those more unique shopping experiences. After that, I could have done it. All the next 4 could have been here or there, depending on what I'm in the mood for. I like Star Traders. Pretty cool. I like the shop outside of Pirates because my kids like to get the swords and the guns and stuff. But again, I mean, after that, it's just like whatever, man. I'm not a big shopper, so this was the hardest one for me.
That's a nice analysis. That's very good analysis, Lee.
All right, Kev, what you got?
All right, so for me, this one kind of breaks into 2 halves, So I got a set of 3 that I enjoy. That's where I mostly shop, and a set of 3 that I really don't really shop at, unless forced to. So my number 6 is Tomorrowland. I don't do a lot of shopping there. Most of the gift shops that are in there, I just kind of pass through. Same thing with Fantasyland. Most of those gift shops are in there. Yeah, just coming after a ride. I don't really shop there as much. And also to Frontierland. I don't really do a lot of shopping in there either. But these top 3 that I have, which is Main Street USA, Liberty Square, and Adventureland, were a little bit tough to rank. Adventureland, they have a lot of shops. I do some shopping there, but it's not a lot of things that I absolutely have to have. I can pass by those shops. I could go into the shops. It doesn't really matter to me. The Pirates of the Caribbean shop is pretty killer, but I usually end up not buying anything. But it's kind of cool,
fun to look at, right?
Yeah, it's fun to look at.
I love that. That's a great point.
That's an awesome point, actually.
Now, these top 2, Main Street USA and Liberty Square, these are 2 places where I actually do spend some money. And so I'm putting Liberty Square as my number 2. It's got the old Christmas shop, which I absolutely have to stop in, and it's got Memento Mori, which I absolutely have to stop in. So those are my 2. And the only reason why I think Main Street edged out for me is because they have more that I stop in. And that's the only reason. I think for these 2, they could have flip-flopped for me. I mean, Main Street, you got the Emporium, you got the art store, the photography store thing, all that kind of stuff that's at the front of the street. All different kinds of stuff that you can buy in there. That's where I spend most of my money. But, I do love Liberty Square. I think Liberty Square probably could have edged it out too, just because I love those 2 different shops. But I think just out of number in this case, and places where I have spent money, I have to give it to Main Street in this.
I think this is where quantity over specialty kind of wins out a little bit. Yeah.
Yes, because I can pretty much buy a lot of different things there.
That's the whole point of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, go ahead, Ellie.
This was terrible for me.
Because you definitely.
You don't like to spend money.
For those of you that don't know, that don't listen to the show, but are currently listening now, I do not like to spend money. So this was really tough. I'm kind of like with the other gentleman here, where it was like all this kind of flip flopped and they went back and forth. But I would go Liberty Square 6, Frontierland 5, mainly because I just don't think to shop there. Really, I mean, it's nothing against them. It's just I don't think. Fantasyland 4, Tomorrowland 3, because sometimes I'm like, well, maybe they got something cool there, and I'm a sci-fi guy. But for Fantasyland, the only reason I gave it 4 was because, again, I had a daughter, and like I have Bippity Boppity Boutique pictures from when she was young, and it's really good for those of you that don't know. If take your daughter when she's young to Bippity Boppity Boutique, so that way, when she gets older and she starts to date some dude that you don't like, but you want to figure out a nice way to kind of break it up and embarrass her, so she doesn't want to, show the boyfriend the Bippity Boppity Boutique picture. Just saying, for you dads out there in the future with your daughters, you're welcome. But yeah, that was the only reason why that one made the uppercut. Adventureland, I do I do kind of go around there, like, to kind of see what's weird, because it's a eccentric kind of place, and that's basically the only reason why I gave it 2. But Main Street, if I was a very wealthy man, there would be a lot of collectibles that I would buy from there. Like, I always do stop there. Like, it's like, if it's a place that I find myself going to, if like somebody's like, hey, we're gonna go here, we go here. Like, there's a part where everybody goes on a trip where everybody's trying to make their plan. So you're like, well, I don't know what your plan is. I'm just going to go with it anyway. I'm just going to walk over here. Like, I do find myself doing that, going and then coming back. So that's pretty much the main reason why I made Main Street number 1. But really, if I just had $700 to burn, there would be a lot of collectibles in there I would totally just get, because there's like a lot of awesome stuff.
You get your Mickey ears there too.
Yeah. That's very good point.
Yeah, monogrammed.
Very good point.
And balloons.
And just a quick point, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique and Harmony Barbershop are listed as shopping on the Walt Disney World website. So
Sure.
That's right.
I
checked
which
it.
makes sense.
I
Yeah.
checked it. Hey.
Oh, wait, you said Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique is listed as Main Street?
Let me double check that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm
not
right
on Main Street, but I'm saying it's listed as shopping.
Yeah,
listed as
okay.
shopping.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
Because I included that in more of the Fantasyland. Because, I mean...
Yeah, it is in Fantasyland, but I'm just saying as a category, it's included in shopping.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's funny when we're putting this together. You made a point to bring that up, and I'm not quite understanding why that's. Such
I think Lee's got something against me. I don't know what it is.
No, I don't. I don't know where it goes because it's not a gift shop.
Yeah, why do you hate Eli? Wait, what happened?
He's the second time I made a list, and then he's jumped in like, I don't like that, and then I was like, okay.
No, I don't have anything against Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. I'm just saying,
No, just Eli.
Just me.
I'm like, I don't know why Walt Disney World considers that shopping. I mean, I guess you're shopping.
I consider
for a
it
makeover, but
It's shopping.
It's a barber shop. It's a hair salon.
You get to pick and choose what princess you want to be, how you want to look.
It's sure as hell not
You got the
entertainment.
clothes. Yeah, you get photos at the end of it. I mean, like, it's an experience. You're not just, it's a very detailed situation.
Yeah,
I'll admit, I pounced on that because he brought it up when we were texting about this show, and it's like, I don't understand the confusion there. It's a barber shop, it's a hair salon. It's a shop.
Yeah,
You're exchanging money for goods. Yeah, it's an experience,
shop.
but we don't have a category like dinner theater type stuff.
You can buy T-shirts, and look, you go to the hood, you can go get your hair cut, buy a T-shirt if you want. Some places you get some tennis shoes.
And egg rolls.
Depends on where you go.
Cajun food.
Anything you want, right there.
Right
And
there,
conversation, too.
Yep.
I just don't know why my fellow co-host has something against me.
Well, that's why I'm not saying nothing, because I feel like I feel uncomfortable just following this.
I mean, just take it, bring it home, because I'm confused right now. I don't know.
I don't know, but when this is over, y'all need to go to co-host counseling or
We
something.
got to talk. We got to work something out. I mean, he's going to Disney World. I'm going to Disneyland. Maybe there's an East Coast, West Coast thing that's happening.
West
No,
Side.
That's right.
What?
Oh, man, look, Tupac.
Yeah,
baby.
I
That's
got a
what's
story to tell. No, I don't know. You go ahead and take it, sir.
All right,
I will
Danny.
take it. I'll take it.
What we got?
All
Shopping
right,
wise.
What you
so
got,
6. I'm trying to move beyond the hate, but it's hard to not talk about hate when you get into number 6, which is Frontierland, because it's a little rough for me to choose this as the last one because I have such fond memories of the Briar Patch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I so remember being stuck in there for 20, 30 minutes as you wait for your picture to be printed out and checking out all the stands and looking at the plushies and the shirts and the frames for your pictures and stuff like that when I was a kid. And obviously that's all going to go away, and I highly doubt that the Briar Patch is going to come back. And it's definitely not going to come back in the form that it was. So, I mean, I kind of got to throw that out there. And really, once you've done that, once Disney has deemed that this shop is, or this attraction is not something that they want to move forward with, so which means that it wouldn't be appropriate to sell materials based upon that attraction, you've kind of got to just throw that out of the equation. And that's, to me, Briar Patch was the signature Frontierland shop. Am I wrong?
It was. I mean, that's pretty much the main one that I can think of.
And so outside of that, you got the Frontier Mercantile.
Mercantile,
Is
yeah.
that what's it called? And the Frontier Trading Post, and which is the nice little looking stores, but it's mostly for pin trading. And that's just, of all my guilty Disney pleasures, I've never gotten to pin trading. So that's why I'm going to put that last. Tomorrowland, again, it just takes the higher spot because the Briar Patch is no more. And also because, and I'm sure this is also probably no more right now, but I'm not sure, is the arcade in Tomorrowland, the Tomorrowland Light and Power Company place. I mean, I love that arcade. Absolutely 100% love that arcade. But I cannot say that I actually played. I'm not played, but I'm trying to say I can't actually say I bought anything. Why would you? I mean, if you're going to buy your Star Wars stuff now, why not just buy it at Galaxy's Edge where the real Star Wars stuff is? So
that's
basically,
the tricky part. Yes.
Yeah, you're just buying. If you go to what do you call it, Tomorrowland Traders? I can't remember the name of the store. But if you go over there, basically you're just buying Star Wars stuff or Space Mountain stuff.
But it's like generic stuff. It's not specific stuff.
And the shops in and of themselves, to me, are a little lame. It's not necessarily anything like, whoa, this is kind of a really well-themed shop. It's not. It's like some kind of building with space stuff in there. Yeah.
In it. Sorry.
So that's my 5 was Tomorrowland. So 4 would be Fantasyland. Because outside of Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, which is really just for little princesses, there's not much else to get excited about.
That's fair. No, that's totally fair.
Absolutely.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The shops are cool. I like the Sir Mickey's with the giants peeking in. I like the Bibbidi Bobbidi shop with the change in Sleeping Beauty's dress. I like that. It's cool little effects. But there's not much for me to be, as an older male, to get excited about buying in there. It's just some place you stop in. It is what it is. My child at 11's already grown past this phase. So, I mean, boys, nothing much to do with this. It's a niche market. 3 would be Adventureland. And there you've got the Agrabah Bazaar, which is, it's not open right now. And to me, it's always looked like something they threw together in a day.
Yeah.
Especially if you've been to Disneyland Paris and you've really seen what their Agrabah looks like. And it's not just Paris. I think Tokyo does like a really nicely, and it begs for it. It really does, because Adventureland, and we'll get to this when we get to the theming, is not really heavily themed to a point where you really kind of feel like you're in a time and place. You just kind of have a general sense that you're in the jungle or whatever you want to consider yourself as being in. So I don't see that, but Plaza del Sol Caribe Bazaar, and I'm looking at it to make sure I pronounce it right. Basically, what we all know as the gift shop that you exit from Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, that place, that is the quintessential, when you exit a ride, you exit through a gift shop. That was the first one that you exited through where like, this is awesome.
That was like the OG exit ride.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great point, because that's where you had the old school pirate guns.
Yes, the little cap guns.
Good. God.
As a child,
Swords, everything.
Dang.
they had to drag me out of there. There wasn't, but and I can't remember who said it, as a child, you had to drag me out of there. I wanted everything. As an adult, I walk out of there, I don't end up buying anything.
Oh, that was me. Yeah.
But that was you?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah.
That was you said that. So I completely concur 100%.
I'll play with it in the store, but I won't buy it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I'll look at it.
Oh my God.
And the
Got a hook,
theming, the theming of that store with the what you call the flags and the portraits, and there's barrels, and it looks like you're in a Spanish fort. I mean, it is done top notch. It could easily be one of the best, if not the best, shops in the Magic Kingdom. So that in and of itself, that one shop is enough to catapult Adventureland to number 3 and nothing else. Because other than that, there's like a Sunglass Hut.
I'm glad I put it at 2, but I'm just like, man, you took me in a time machine. I don't know, for a split second, like,
Oh, it's
the
good.
pirate gun. Dang, yeah,
I
my
remember
mind's talking me. Oh my God. Man, I'm about to sit over here and cry.
I wanted the pirate gun. I wanted the hook hand.
Oh my God.
The sword,
all that. The
sword,
the eye
all that.
patch.
And they
yeah.
got the cool. They really do have cool pirate shirts. Like, I mean, I've already put it 2, but it's like, yeah, they got the. But it's like, it's one of those things where as a grown man, you're too big for the shirt. But if you were a kid, I'd be a killer shirt to wear.
Oh man, but you remember back? It wasn't that long ago. I say that, but I mean we're old.
Man.
It wasn't that long ago with those Jack Sparrow hats with the dreads and everything were the coolest things you could wear. Back when they had the Pirate and Princess parties, everyone had that.
You're right.
So anyway, but then number 2, this is where Kevin and I are in lockstep. Memento Mori is without a doubt the coolest shop in the Magic Kingdom. It's just cool. It's beautifully themed. the effects within the shop in and of itself is just next level. I remember we went in there with the girls last year, and they did a whole thing for Sophia where they made the shop come to life, and they did all this. Yeah, it was
for the little one?
Yeah, Sophia. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Did something special. And Sophia's like brave, but I mean, like, you know, to take a 6-year-old and take her into a haunted shop where things are supposed to be like ghost. They did a fantastic job. Ye Olde Christmas Shop it's a must see.
It's a must.
It really is a must see. The only other place there's 2 places that comes close, and one's in Disney Springs in the old marketplace area. The other's in Hollywood Studios. Is that right?
Yep, the little one. Yeah.
Yes, but it's just something about seeing that in the Magic Kingdom, and it's not just that. It's like the cast member costumes. That there's something about that just makes you feel like, oh my God, I'm getting waited on by somebody from that era that just kind of really embodies the spirit of like I'm conducting a transaction.
That's a nice aspect to put in there.
Yes.
I didn't even think about that as part of the shopping experience.
But above and beyond all else, I don't know if it was. I think it was Lee who touched on the portrait gallery where you can get the caricatures. To me, was it Lee who said that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was beautifully well stated. I couldn't agree more. It's not a Disney trip if I don't walk home with at least one caricature.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have one sitting right over here from our last Disneyland trip as a podcast unit together, and I can't tell if it is. It's right behind me. You can see it on my camera. So to me, the caricature aspect of it all. I love that. They even have a parasol thing where I've never seen anybody buy anything. I don't know how they stay in business, but apparently parasols are still selling in 2021. But the character thing is great, and that leads me to my number 1, Main Street USA. What the hell else are you going to choose? I mean, really, it's the spot where they put everything that you could possibly want on the way out that you forgot to get while you were walking around the parks. You want a little magic, you want a little pirates, you want a little haunted mansion, you want a little small world, you want a little whatever that you forgot to get it all on Main Street. And oh, by the way, while you're on your way out, why not grab some glasswork or some jewelry or some sweets
big collectible.
or some books? Yeah, I mean, it's like there's all this stuff. And that's not even touching upon the fact you get your hair cut eventually at the Harmony Barbershop. I mean, that whole area is there for you to buy something on the way in because you're so excited, and then make sure to purchase stuff on the way out. It is there for you to shop.
Original art you have
Original
down
art.
there. I didn't even have a chance to
That's
mention
exactly-
that, but you're wandering there for a bit.
That portrait right there, and there's another portrait right over there, that they were all bought on Main Street.
Yeah.
On the way out, where I'm just like, you know what, screw it. You know, it's my last day. I feel like a Roman emperor. Give me it all. I want it all.
That's what I said. Like, that's why I made it my number 1. Like, if I had won the lottery or something like that, and I could just walk in there and be like, oh yeah, give me that original art, this and that. Like, you know, like the paintings, you can flip through all the different paintings they got. You do find yourself, I guess as a creative, I should say, you do find yourself like being in there and you're just like looking through. Most of the other places on the list, you're like, yeah, it's good, and I'm out. But yeah, absolutely.
You spend time there.
You do.
Yeah.
Twice.
Absolutely.
Going in and coming back.
Exactly.
Just the Art of Disney store that they have. They don't call it Art of Disney, but I can't remember what they call it. But I mean, they have wall art that you can order, and all the portraits, all the books, and that in and of itself would win for me. But they go above and beyond.
Agreed.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. All right, Lee.
All right. Well, we got new rankings now. Main Street USA is number 1. Fantasyland number 2.
Really?
Adventureland, Liberty Square. Did I do that right? Frontierland, Tomorrowland.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big flip
What a
flop.
difference a category makes.
It's been back and forth all day.
At the end of this, when we're all talking and you're like sitting there figuring out something to do, can you figure out what our own individual rankings? Because even I don't know what my individual rankings would be.
I have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Great.
All right, so
All right.
we're in the final
Last one.
category, which is theme area music, which we lumped together. And you know, it's funny. Before, just to kind of tease something before we get into this, I almost want to do this with Future World versus World Showcase.
Oh my!
That would be interesting.
Well, if you did it just in the music, World Showcase. Well, no, you said World Showcase. I'm thinking of the
there's
old
only
school.
there's only 2 lands in Epcot, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah.
World Showcase, Future World. You know, it's like
that old school. Yeah, that would win for me.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
All right,
But anyway, I tease that. But anyway, theme area music, Magic Kingdom. Here we go. This is the last category, and this determines what our quest for the best is. All right, Lee.
And it's really the most subjective.
Yes.
Very
It is the most
subjective.
subjective.
Very
Yes,
subjective.
Subjective, yeah.
All right, so I've got Tomorrowland as my number 6. I like it better at night than during the day. I think the theming fits better at night, but overall, I don't feel like I'm anywhere in tomorrow at all. I don't feel like I'm in the picture in
Well
any kind of way.
Well said.
So, it just, as far as, just comparing, someone has to be last, and Tomorrowland is definitely last for me. I almost feel guilty saying this, but Liberty Square is next. It is a cool theme. It doesn't do a lot for me, I guess. I don't know why, but when I compare it to everything else, it doesn't hit me in the feels. You know what I mean? I like everything in Liberty Square, but the actual theme of it's just nothing exciting for me. 4 is Fantasyland. I don't feel like Fantasyland in itself it's kind of like Tomorrowland, where it is a lot of cool little places, but it doesn't have like one overarching theme that kind of is very cohesive. Because you've got Small World, you got a circus thing over here, you've got some castle stuff, you've got Winnie the Pooh, which is what I don't really know why. I mean, none of it really is like a big overall theme like Frontierland and Adventureland and things like that. Adventureland next, Frontierland after that. Main Street USA it takes you to another place. Main Street USA is a place that you've never been, but it feels so familiar. I've never lived in that time period, but something about it just has nostalgia for me. I don't know why, but it is everything that is Walt Disney World is Main Street USA. And the music, the smells coming off Main Street, as y'all mentioned earlier, kind of the reveal as you walk around the corner and you walk out of the train station bridge and you see the castle in the distance. There's nothing better than that first day. And you always go to Magic Kingdom on your first day. And there's nothing better than walking out onto Main Street USA. You are in Disney now that you are on Main Street USA. And you are not on a Disney vacation until you hit Main Street USA.
That is true.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, you really
Not much
gonna
else to say.
really hate me.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I like working with you. I really do. I just gave you a lot of money. I really do like working with you.
Well, I like your money.
Please give it back.
Fortunately, you and your money don't have to.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's right.
there's that's all
All right,
good.
Kevin.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. What we got?
Theme area music. I'm going Tomorrowland number 6 is my last place one. Just like Lee said, it doesn't really evoke Tomorrowland. It looks cool in the evening, but during the day, not much there to speak of. My next one is number 5 is Fantasyland. I feel like it's a hodgepodge of different things. Interesting enough, there's a bunch of different themes within that theme. Bunch of different music within that. I don't know if there's any one thing that ties everything together other than those attractions individually in and of itself,
Yeah, well said.
So we're going to my number 4. I'll say Liberty Square. That was a tough one to deal with because you have a lot of cool little sights. You have that extra detail that's in the concrete. Every now and then you hear the Haunted Mansion doing its thing. I like the architecture that you see there. But I don't know if it was enough to put it up ahead of some of the ones that I have ranked as my 1, 2, and 3. But I do like Liberty Square. Maybe it could have inched out into my top 3, but this is what my top 3 is. For my third one, well, let me think about this because I might make a switch.
It's
here.
crazy. This is a crazy.
It's nuts. It is.
This is a
It's
tough
very
one.
crazy.
This is
one.
something. If you would have caught us in a different day, these answers might be different.
That's a very good statement. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna just stick with what I got, and let's do Adventureland as number 3. Very good theming, and all. To be honest, these top 3 were very, very close. I mean, there's different things, especially emotionally, that stuck to me. A lot of it, Adventureland, a lot of the theming. I love hearing the drums coming out of the little totem things. Every random cannon shot that you hear from Pirates of the Caribbean. Just all the different things that are happening in that land. The colors, the plant life, the architecture, that kind of stuff. Pretty cool. But in this one, these two were kind of tough to put to switch around. I kept going back and forth, and that's Main Street USA and Frontierland. I put Main Street USA as my number 2 in this particular case. And what I like the look of it. I like the smells. I love the sounds of it. I love the music. that I hear on Main Street USA.
I could not confirm more.
I know I'm in Disney World when I step on the main street and I hear that stuff. Da 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 da. All the different minis. Yoo-hoo pops up, in the playlist, and just all different kinds of stuff.
Not just that, like the familiar stuff from like Wall-E and oh my god, put on your Sunday and
all that stuff.
Up, Maryland thing. Yeah, when the woman dies, that whole ugh.
I mean, this was tough for me to put at number 2, and I maybe I still might switch it. I don't know. But I just love the atmosphere and the feel when I'm just hanging out on Main Street, just listen to it. But for some reason, Frontierland edged it just a little bit in this particular iteration. I don't know. It's the architecture, it's the look, it's the mountains. Late at night, I've been in Frontierland.
Call it a wild baby.
Yeah, I mean, I walked through Frontierland after. I mean, like I said, I go to one of those mountains on that side more so than Space Mountain, and so. When I close the park, I'm walking through Frontierland.
It always seems to be the area that I remember when I'm walking out.
Yeah. I mean, you hear the banjo, stuff
You're looking
like
out
that.
on the rivers of America.
Yeah.
It just seems to be what captures in my mind, for whatever reason, that snapshot as I'm walking out trying to grasp what last memories I'm going to have of the park before I have to go home. That is it just seems to be Frontierland is what stays with me.
Yeah, even when I'm walking on the little boardwalk that's by the shops, I mean, my feet are clomping and I'm hitting board. I'm not stepping on the, I guess, whatever concrete that the rest of the park is made of. It's just such a unique sound in and of itself, and the theming and all the wood and just you hear the splash, you hear the people screaming on Big Thunder, you hear the train, come through, and it's like, hey, I'm in the frontier. They're about to bring out the golden spike, or they're about to bring us out oranges finally made it out, and now we have different kinds of food and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like Frontierland just edged out Main Street USA, and I love Main Street USA, but just something, every time I'm there, it's like I'm walking through Frontierland as I close the park. And even though I go through Main Street as well on the way to exit, it's just, I don't know, just something about really cool and relaxed. I could probably hang out in Frontierland all night if they'd let me stay. But yeah, that's my rankings. There we go.
Nicely done.
Very nicely done. Man, man, tell you what, I was crying what you said, Kevin, man. I mean, this is a tough one. Absolutely. It's completely subjective. And really, I think in this aspect, Disney does their best here to make you feel like wherever you want to belong, you can, like to the best of their ability.
One more thing I forgot in Frontierland, the cricket sounds.
Yes. I don't hear it.
I mean, they're there.
No, I don't even hear it. I'm sorry. I really don't hear anything.
The cricket sounds?
You want to hear the crickets?
He's not playing them right now.
No. I'm talking about in Frontierland.
Yeah, he said, not your backyard, because you sitting in your house, man. We see you on camera.
No, not you.
Not your
So you're saying like the crickets should have done it for me. Like, this reminds me of home.
I mean, at first it's like, are those real crickets? No, those are deliberate cricket sounds in Frontierland. So that's another thing.
Are those meth bikers back at your house again?
You're good. You're good, Lee.
It makes me laugh that y'all are sharing a room together in a week.
Oh man, I love this show.
Man, I know I was muted. Sorry.
What the hell?
No, you're not even outside. No,
yes, crickets in Frontierland. Yeah, I mean, that was my number 2. So it was close between that and Main Street. I mean, it to me, Main Street is like relax, have an ice cream, watch the fireworks. It's not really like ride. There's no rides, obviously, things like that. So as far as once you get off Main Street, Frontierland, no doubt, is the best of them all. Yeah, it's for sure. And it's just like, and again, the forced perspective on the mountains, it's like, wow, check out that. And Splash Mountain is just like, Splash Mountain is not the weenie of the park, but once you get past the castle and you're in, if there's an iconic ride anywhere that you're like off in the distance, like I need to go there, it's Splash Mountain. Like that's great, man. I got to go check that out. So yeah, man, Frontierland it was close. It's close for me.
Sounds like you want to redo your rankings.
I think he
No, I'm
needs to.
still sticking with
Sticking with
number one. Well, let me see.
let's see what Eli.
Yeah, we
Maybe
can
Eli will.
Yeah, Eli. So, didn't mean to interrupt, but there you go. Yes.
No, all opinions are welcome on this show. That's absolutely true.
Even when they told the second time.
That's absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just here. I'm a storyteller, just like y'all. So I just tell my story.
So what's your story? What's your ranking?
So this
All about the glory.
Yes,
all about
You're missing out. You're missing out.
You're missing out, baby. Cables out. You're missing out. Fantasy football coming for you.
All right, what you got, sir?
So look, the thing here for me is that I think like the theming was very tough. I think like Danny said is absolutely correct. If you hit me on another day, this could have completely have changed. But for me, it was about whenever I walk somewhere for the theming and whatnot, how I feel when I'm actually in it. Like I know there's music and there's all this stuff going on, but it's about, to me, what made me just kind of connect. Like I'm like, okay, I could do the suspension of belief, so to
Disbelief,
speak.
yeah.
Disbelief. Thank you. So with that, sorry, Main Street came in number 6 for me.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow! That's impressive.
Yeah, it's not that it's terrible or nothing like that.
No,
I mean,
That's a bold statement.
I'm telling you why, because I know you want to hear it. The thing is that it's you know what it is? It's like when I go in there, I know where I'm at, but it almost feels kind of, this is going to sound crazy, but carny. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, well, I'm going to get into what I got to get into, and this is a nice classical thing, but this doesn't resonate to me where I'm like, whatever. Now, maybe it's because I live here in a place where, you know, if I'm driving down a certain street, I can be stopped literally by a horse and a carriage, and it's not a pleasant thing when you try to get to work. You know what I'm saying? Like when I worked at the aquarium, that literally happened. So maybe I have some PTSD from that.
You got pulled over by a horse and buggy.
I was like, I gotta get to work. Somebody need the computer fixed for a fish died. And like the horse was like, I don't care what you think, or the donkey, whatever. Yeah, I don't care what you think. I'm here. I got blinders on. I can't see you, fool. So I went Main Street for number 6. It's not a terrible place, but it's not something when I'm there, I'm like, yeah, Main Street. Tomorrowland was number 5. Tomorrowland, again, kind of had the carny theme, but since it's Tomorrowland, I was kind of, well, it's almost like, yeah, they're trying, but it still has
They're
that,
trying.
They're trying. It's Tomorrowland. You got to have cool names and stuff like that. But again, when I'm there, I'm kind of like, maybe if they had kept Alien Encounter, I could like, you know.
That would have been enough for you,
it might have been a higher ranking, but for what it is now,
That's a fair point.
yeah, I'm like,
I thought you were going to say the Stitch dance party. I would have done it for you.
no, if I say Stitch is better than Alien, I need to walk off this show right now. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a bold statement. But that's really how I felt. Like, theming wise, I'm like, hey, I'm here, but everything is just kind of, yeah, whatever. It's neon-y. You know what I mean? It's like an 80s dance party. So, yeah, that's how I feel. Liberty Square comes in number 4. Why? Because it's a straightforward thing. You can't mess that up. You just keep it patriotic, but keep it old school. Now, again, I like it. I like what it is as far as the theme, how I feel when I'm there. But then, you know, there's stockades. I don't want no piece of that. I was married. Already been in prison.
My ancestors.
That's it. I'm walking away. My ancestors didn't like that. I can't do that. Number 3. Now, these three were tough. They're absolutely, positively were tough for me. Number 3 was Adventureland. Look, totally, you know, with everything that's there, like the music, just the look, you got trees, everything. You do feel like, I do feel like I'm like, hey man, this is, you know, this jungle, this is native, this is kind of wild. You know, I mean, I ain't trying to free some of my peoples, but I mean, you know, I'm like, yeah, I get it. You know, and so in that case, I do feel that a little bit more, leading me to number 2, which is Fantasyland. Fantasyland, to me, should be insane. It's Fantasyland. You should have stuff with this crazy music. You got to pull the Excalibur sword. Like, anything is possible. Anything is there. I have no problem with that. I think that makes sense, which leads me to number 1, which is Frontierland. I'm telling you, when I go to Frontierland, I feel like I'm at home. I absolutely do.
No, yeah.
I do. I mean, like, I like that.
Your ancestors were at home in Frontierland?
Oh, yeah. You know, there was some ivories back there that used to buy for gold.
Oh, okay. I saw Django, so I know what you're saying.
But I think that's one of those places that I like to hang out at the most. I mean, we've done plenty of trips. Again, like, you know, where I'm cool hanging out there. I'm cool hanging out there, like shooting. I do have that more adventurous feel. I just do feel a lot more comfortable there with how everything is set. So that's why I went with that.
All right,
Danny. So, man, you're bringing it home.
All right, so let's close this out finally. So for me, all right, so 6 would be Tomorrowland because frankly, it's just like it's just a disjointed mess at this point in time, isn't it?
It's just stupid.
You have a Grand Prix raceway for no reason.
Right.
You have a comedy club in the middle of an alternate universe for no reason. You have metallic palm trees. Yeah, they're even missing the Robo News guy, like with the typewriter, like, that used to print out your news, and the Metrophone booth, and it just looks like Chester and Hester got a hold of this place and reimagined it as a rest stop along the whatever the hell.
Rest stop.
Yeah, it's aged badly. So I'm gonna put Tomorrowland at number 6. Number 5. I'm going to put Adventureland. It's nice, but outside of the music, I really don't feel much of the adventure in Adventureland. I'm sorry. I mean, outside of bongos and trees. Again, you've got Agrabah Bazaar that looks like it was thrown together in a day. There really aren't any great set pieces that kind of orientate you to where you are. The whole thing just looks like it was done on the cheap. 4, I'm going to put Fantasyland, and that's mainly because the quote-unquote new Fantasyland that's pretty old by this point in time, it really kind of helps with the theming, but overall, the area just seems to be all over the place. I mean, the theming is just kind of... you start with the old Fantasyland area, like Small World and Peter Pan, and they all just set up in these medieval tents that look like they're being set up for show, but then... Now there's a mine train in the middle of all this, and there's a palace, and there's a circus behind that. I mean, it just seems disjointed, and there's no singular theme tying it all together where you can really appreciate you're being put in a setting. 3, I'm going to go to Main Street USA, and that I think you said it, Kevin. Yeah, from the moment you walk in, the music hits you. And you're just orientated into a time and place. No music hits you. Like, music is so subjective. It's like, all the music from all these areas are very well done, very well placed. But there's no more memorable music than when you first step into Main Street. The firehouse in the city hall, that all helps to sell it as well. It really is. Main Street is an old-fashioned Main Street, except for the big castle at the end of the block.
There's that. Yeah.
The biggest attraction, obviously, also besides the big castle at the end of the block, is the fact that every time I go somewhere, it costs me money. Like, I'm not just exploring for the sake of, like, everything costs money. I'm like, I just meandered into this thing and let me explore this aspect. No. We just want your money. Just give us this for that and we're good. And you go along your way and we do our business and we're done. So that was a real main drawback from Main Street, is that there's a big castle at the end of the block, and there's not really anything to explore outside of your checkbook or debit card or whatever you want to put it at.
Explore that. I know what that story is.
Yes, it's been way too explored by the time I got there. Anyway, second, I'm going to put Liberty Square because I really get that colonial feeling walking around. And again, I think it was Kevin who said it, the gravel. The indentations in the gravel of what you call it, but you have, like, I think Lou spelled it out really, like we had the sewage pumping out from like one area,
Muddy Mississippi. Right. Yeah,
you've got the 2 if by sea, 1 if by land. The colonial buildings all feel so colonial. It really, exactly where you're supposed to be. It orientates you exactly to where they want to put you, and the buildings are perfect. There's the stockades out front. The Rivers of America that frames it with the riverboat, I mean, it's just perfect. Everything falls. I know exactly. I can orientate myself into a time and space. The big mansion in the background, too, helps with that. I mean, everything seems to fit. I know exactly where I'm supposed to be. Having said that, Frontierland takes that and goes 3 steps beyond. It really does. I mean, from a theme thing, the Imagineers really created something special. I mean, you have these aged buildings that aren't all that aged. It's an Old West town that never really was Old West. You've got Tom Sawyer's Island sitting there in a distance. You got the rafts going back and forth between that. You've got the Diamond Horseshoe Saloon that's very saloon looking, even though it's not a saloon. You got the Frontierland Market. It just looks like you've just walked it. Even the ground, which is all just pavement, looks like a dusty gravel road. If you really weren't paying attention, I mean, it just looks like you're just walking along. Grizzly Hall even adds something to the beauty of that area.
It's got grit.
It does. It really does. It really puts you. I mean, they're selling like wood carvings and leather goods all around you. I mean, how do you not buy that you're in that time frame? So it really orientates you to a specific place and a specific mindset. You're not in, I'm in a general idea. Like if you're in Fantasyland, you're in a general idea of a Fantasyland. If you're in Tomorrowland, you're in a general idea. Liberty Square, Frontierland, they put you in a very specific place. Main Street, also to that point. But I mean, Main Street is a little bit more.
It's so quick, though.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, like a good mid or afternoon sun really helps that place. Big time.
Oh,
That's
big time.
It really sells it really
Yeah.
nice. I just remember just walking through there in the afternoon sun and just like, wow, this is pretty awesome.
100%.
So, but yeah, Mother Nature's even helping out with that particular one.
Yeah, again, and I said it when you were talking, it's the last thing I seem to remember. It's the last, like maybe it's because I'm running into Main Street stores to try and grab whatever I can grab on the way out, but I always seem to hit Frontierland and I'm just soaking in the atmosphere, and then get to Main Street, I'm just ducking into the Emporium or wherever
Let
to
me
go
see if
buy
they had this or that.
whatever I need to buy, looking back at the castle as I walk away. So Frontierland always just seems to make that last impression.
Yeah.
You're trying to get that last ride on Splash. You're trying to get that last ride on Big Thunder. You probably came from space. Maybe you did space, and you're like, all right, let's go, man. We did the only thing we needed to do over here. Let's go over here and hit up Big Thunder and hit up Splash Mountain one more time before they close it out.
Yeah, and when they had the Skyway to Fantasyland, it was a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but like,
Until some start throwing quarters at
who could that be?
So,
All right,
man.
so where are we at,
You
man?
want to hit it? You want the final total?
Yeah, starting from number
We
six.
need it.
Number 6, all
Who
the way to
won?
1.
All right, number 6, Tomorrowland. No surprise there. Number 5, Liberty Square. I'm a little surprised here, but
A little bit.
little bit. Adventureland came in next.
Wow.
I guess I could give you the score: 77 to Tomorrowland. Liberty Square 55 points. Adventureland 53 points. This one, actually, now that I'm saying it and I've listened to everything today, is actually very surprising. Frontierland 52 points.
Wait, Frontierland's 3?
Frontierland is 3, and I'll show you in a second. I was very surprised because we were all high on
Probably
Frontierland.
the shopping
That
killed
is
it.
shocking.
The shopping
Yeah.
probably killed it.
Probably.
I could see that.
The restaurants too, to some degree.
Good point.
Fantasyland 50 points. Main Street USA 46.
Whoa.
Main Street. Oh, wow.
Now I will tell you, when I did my scores before we even talked, I was shocked. The Main Street USA was my number 1. I mean, there are a lot of things I like about it, but how can something with no rides, no rides, there's no rides in this place at all, and nothing but basically shopping and food. But it was my number 1. When I ranked them out, I was like, wait a minute, did I do this right? I double-checked my formulas? Yeah, Main Street USA is my number 1.
I could see that. It is the purest form of Disney, where you walk in there and there's no expectations in Main Street. If you see the Dapper Dans, if you see this, yeah, it's just that area that you walk into where you're just loving what you see. So it because I think there's zero expectations for Main Street, is that there's zero disappointment.
But yeah, I was gonna say, outside of the 2 of the options, it was always in like the top 4.
Oh yeah, you're
So-
right. You're right. I don't know if there was ever the bottom except for attractions, right?
Yeah.
I think that was the only one
That's
for me.
probably
like
the
I
key.
totaled mine up, and I think I had Main Street USA as number
Main
1.
Street, yes.
Too, yeah.
Kevin is Main Street USA is your number 1 as well.
Oh wow. Okay, so go through us each and let us know who our number 1 was. Okay.
Yeah, so my number 1 was Main Street USA. Kevin's number 1 was Main Street USA. But if you want to know why Fantasyland beat out Frontierland, Danny, your number 1 is Fantasyland. Eli, your number 1 is Fantasyland.
What?
Wow.
I don't even think I ranked it number 1 in anything, but okay.
Wow.
It was your... Yeah, you didn't. Well, you gave it dining.
Oh, dining. Yeah, you're right. I did give it dining.
That's
okay.
And you also gave it number 2 in attractions.
Okay.
So,
Fair enough.
Those are the 2
I'll
very
live
low
with that.
scores.
I'll live with
And
that.
also, it was not low anywhere else. It was number 4 for you in theme, and it was number 4 in shops.
It's consistent.
Interesting. Yeah.
That is
So that's why Fantasyland beat out Frontierland, surprisingly.
Okay. So,
Wow.
all right. Interesting.
So the key is, if you really like a land, you better defend it really well.
In other words, Lee and Kevin like to shop more than we do.
Apparently.
fair.
I mean, I do work at the mall, so I guess that does make sense.
yeah.
But I mean, really, truly, it's weird because I don't like to shop. Not at Disney. I mean, I've got a few things that I know I need to get. I know I need to get the kids some stuff or whatever, but I'm not the person that's like, man, I've got to go to X store for sure, 100%, and go there and get this and that. It's just like, oh, there's this keychain. Let me pick that up. So it is interesting. All
Run us through each. Like, so yours is what?
right, so let me give each person's bottom to top. So mine, Tomorrowland is the bottom. Then we went Frontierland. I was tied Liberty Square and Adventureland, Fantasyland, then Main Street USA, which you already said.
Wow. Very little love for Frontierland for such marquee attractions. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, Kevin, your bottom is for Tomorrowland. Again, no surprise there. I think that's pretty much everyone's bottom. Then you went Fantasyland, Adventureland, Frontierland, and Liberty Square were tied, and then Main Street USA.
Interesting. Okay.
All right, Eli, your worst was actually Liberty Square.
Wow.
Bottom, Liberty Square. Okay, that's interesting. Then Tomorrowland, right behind it, just by 1 point.
Liberty didn't come easy. Eli.
I got to think.
Well,
I don't want to discuss
Main
it.
Street USA was your third. Then Frontierland, Adventureland, Fantasyland.
Okay.
Ah, okay. Cool.
Why? So Frontierland that I liked still came in third?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I'm shocked.
All right. So, Danny, you got Tomorrowland at the bottom. Adventureland, yep. Frontierland, Main Street USA, and Liberty Square tied, and then Fantasyland.
Interesting.
Wow.
I love doing
I
these
didn't even know
shows,
that.
man. Yeah.
Even though you know, like what you said, and if you said right now, what's your favorite land, without doing any rankings, you would say whatever. But then when you have to think about it and rank it, then you're like, I didn't realize
It was this. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the best part about these shows. It happens every time.
Yeah, if you told me, like, what's your favorite land right now, I'd be like, Frontierland. Like, what about dining? I'm like, oh, yeah, screw this dining.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem.
That's the thing. It's like, yeah, you're right, 100%.
So, all right, cool. Well, that was
Wow.
another good one.
That
Because
was,
I do my shop at the Hollywood studio.
Yeah,
so that's
applause.
funny.
Well done, guys. Hey, great idea, Lee.
another great
Well-
quest for the best.
How in the world do we do this stuff? We
I
just
don't
keep
know.
putting this game on our back every day.
And listeners at home, like, y'all try this. Y'all see how easy it is, because none of us thought our number ones would be our number
No.
ones.
Yeah,
absolutely
no,
not.
I didn't see that coming at all.
And it could have changed depending on the day again.
And let us know if we missed a category. Maybe we missed a category. Maybe there's something that could have helped bring balance to the force. I don't know.
Big balance.
And look, we're about to tell you how to do that and get in touch with us in just a little bit. Well, guys, we hoped you enjoyed that episode of Quest for a Best here on the Magic Are We podcast. If you want to learn more about us, go to magicarewe.com. There you'll find our social media links, past episodes, and more. Also, to share with us your results. You can get in touch with us through the following ways. Shoot us an email at show@magicarewe.com, or call or send us a text message at 1-815-MO-WEEKEND. That is 1-815
Mo Weekend.
669-4226.
We quested. We bested.
Of course, we have a couple of guys that do things outside of the podcast. First of all, we got Eli, does things with comics.
Hey, Rob Liefeld here. Deadpool, Cable, X-Force, Domino, Marvel Comics, Image Comics, all of it. You guys, what is up? Eli Ivory. What a great name. Eli Ivory, comic guru. I'm here to talk about you. I am here to say, check out ivorycomics.com. That's right, you. Check out ivorycomics.com. ivorycomics.com. If you're not doing that, you're missing out. You're missing out. The Savages comic cannot be beat, cannot be surpassed. You need to check it out, experience it for yourself, and you know the story. It's all about the glory. Congrats to you, and all the magic that you're making with your Ivory Comics, Eli Ivory, comic book guru. Check out ivorycomics.com, comic book guru, Eli Ivory, the whole package. Deadpool said to. Do it. ivorycomics.com right now. Liefeld out.
That's right. That guy is talking all the stuff. That dude created people who do action, and he's talking about a man that do action. So you go ahead, you check out the site, like Mr. Liefeld told you. Do it. Enjoy yourself. And you also need to know for true, all day, every day, this thing is like a boomerang, okay? You go ahead to the Ivory Comics website, you throw out the magic our way, bring it right back. You don't miss anything. You know what I'm saying? That's how synergy works. When you bring it back, it comes back to you tenfold. So you go ahead, check out the Ivory Comics website, get you some action on Magic Our Way, get all the laughs, get all the opinions, get all the stuff. You can't stop this. It's like a shield being thrown. It's going to come back to us. That's how we do it. Indestructible. Now, you want some more action? Here you go. Facebook.com, you find me there. Eli Ivory. How you doing? You're a real person. Nice to meet you. You're a bot. Get on out of here. My job is to defeat you. All right? Do it. Facebook.com says Project Geisha. Get all that. You get to see the trailers for the book. You know, put a lot of work into that. You'll enjoy it. Check it out. Put some likes on. I see something happening there. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Now, you go ahead. I don't stop there. You know me. You know me. I go all out. Okay?
Do it.
You know what I'm saying? You go on to Instagram. I'm right there too. You want some likes? You want some hearts? You find me there. You reach out to me. Yeah, 504. All right? I'm right there. Twitter. Boom. Still there. Hancock 10166, baby. All around. Everywhere you go. We there. All right? If you appreciate the madness, bring me the gladness, and I'm a very happy man to go on the quest with these boys. Thank you very much.
Do it.
And if you want to take part in our quest for the best, but you need a little bit more research, you can book a vacation down to the Magic Kingdom through this guy. And think about it. You could fly in after work on Friday, explore and check out Magic Kingdom, and then fly out on Sunday. Lee, tell them how to do this.
Just give me a call at 832-431-1621. That's 832. Tomorrowland is terrible.
Oh, wow. That's a little bit
Oh,
too much, man.
that's harsh.
You can email me at lee@magicourway.com. You can check out the Facebook page at facebook.com/Lastobica Travel. That's LASTOBICA Travel. Instagram, you got a friend in Lee Travel. TikTok, you got a friend in Lee. If you do any of that, we'll get you hooked up and booked up with no
Hasselvika!
That's a lot of hassle, though.
There's a lot of hassle in that one. But look, in addition, there's so many ways to support the show as a whole, and you can find them all on our website, magicourway.com. Any way in which you can support the show is deeply appreciated. Also, I want to take a second and thank you for being a loyal listener, and we always love hearing from our listeners. All opinions are always welcome on the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today.
Right now.
Do it.
Go, email, call, text, and then come back and listen to me say, Mohicans! We say Kwaharini. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
Magic out!
I have every intention of eating those bananas for breakfast, but I still somehow end up with tacos.
OG turkey leg.